Good afternoon, everyone. For the past 15 years, I had just one job, and that job was to hack into the most unbreakable places on Earth. For example, I've hacked for hundreds of banks, financial institutions, state agencies, and some bigger names that you probably know, which is Facebook, Google, Dropbox, PayPal. In a matter of fact, I've been named as one of the top 10 hackers by PayPal since I've hacked them more than 100 times in a span of 2 months. How did I do that? Is it that all of the systems around the world are completely open for hackers and exposed? No. I knew something that many of my hackers fellows knows forever, and that is that whenever everything else fails to hack into a system, you could always, but always rely on the human factor. In crypto, it's not different. As you could see, 44% of losses come from mismanaged keys and seed phrases. And more than 50%, 60% of breaches actually starts with human error. And what we came to learn is that even after you teach people and train them to not get phished, the numbers are still between 7 to 15%. That's amazing. People are still failing on phishing after they get trained. So it's very clear to us that the weakest link isn't the code. It's how we, the human beings, behave.
We've done very, very intensive research into what is in the crypto security market. This is a published report where you can find all the sources. And we found that the vast majority of security companies are working on securing the code in preventing losses by bug bounties, by doing audits, whereas a very, very small percentage of companies have worked on real-time security so that the weakest link, which is the human behavior, is prevented. And in this report, we also found that in the first half of 2025, human-targeted losses exceeded code exploits. So most of the security market is focusing on code exploits, to say it in a simple way, but more losses are coming from human errors. Now that we introduced the problem, we are Kerberus. I am Alex Katz, founder and CEO, Argentine as well, and with me is Danor Cohen. He's the founder and CTO. We created an automated security solution that prevents people from being drained without their knowledge or intervention. The accuracy of the software is 99.9%. You might think, oh, you're using a marketing gimmick. We are coming into 3 years of not a single one of our users losing any funds. That's how good the technology is. And on top of that, we've just added $30,000 worth of coverage, which means that if a user is using our software and they do lose funds because we didn't warn them, they are covered up to $30,000.
So, essentially, in simple words, what did we build? We started 3 years ago building a Chrome extension. That Chrome extension operates like an antivirus on your browser. So it's very easy. You install the extension, and you are protected. How does it work? You go into a Web3 site, only Web3 sites, our extension doesn't know where you are surfing, but when you go into a Web3 site, and that site is trying to interact with your wallet, in that exact moment, when it really matters, then our extension kicks in, scans in live the TX, the transaction, and says in less than 1 second if it's a scam or not. If it's a very complicated or a very new site that we've never seen before, sure, it could take up to 10 seconds, but that's rare for most users. So we are heading forward to expand into much more than that, like mobile protection, desktop protection against malwares, for example, which is something that the community suffered a lot lately.
So I want to illustrate how the security in crypto has approached the problem and how we approach it completely differently. People in crypto have thought, okay, users don't understand what's happening, so we are going to translate it for them, and then we're also going to give them indicators on if an address is too new, if the website has low reputation, and then they'll have to make their own decision. We believe this doesn't work, and it's not just a belief. We've seen that it doesn't work because most crypto users, when they get phished, it's because they're in a rush or distracted. In a rush because of the nature of crypto, distracted because they are dealing with everyday life. So if you bombard them with information, they're still going to ignore it, and they will still lose funds. So what we created differently, where the user is interpreting the transactions and the security indicators, is simply pure security, automated. They don't need to do anything. They don't need to know anything. It's designed so that in the future, you could onboard your mother or even your grandmother. That's the philosophy that we have, what we built, and the reason why we have such a high success rate and no user losses, no funds lost from our users in 3 years. So what's coming next for Kerberus, as Danor already mentioned a little bit. Right now, we're a browser extension working on any Chromium browsers, but we are focusing on a mobile app. We found that nearly 60% of users are on mobile rather than desktop, so we must expand to where the users are. And the other thing that we're doing, one of the big issues right now is malware. This is, I talk to people that get phished all the time. I would say that almost 100% of the cases that come to me in the last 6 months is people downloading a game, a conference software, a cursor extension, and their hot wallets getting drained. We need to stop this. We need to stop user losses everywhere they happen, in every platform, mobile, desktop, malware, phishing websites, all kinds of wallets, which is also the last expansion we're going to make. It's more chains, more wallets. Currently, we protect on all EVM chains and Solana. We need to expand more. We need to protect every user so that they don't lose their funds. They need to be able to access decentralized finance, but without getting their funds robbed. That's our goal in Kerberus. So thank you for listening to our talk, and we'll leave you with our catchphrase forever. It's been forever the same one, which is, you make the profits and we keep them yours. Thank you.
Appreciate it.